One of the great joys of cycling in Dublin and Wicklow is crossing the Featherbeds. Today, we're going from the top of the Glencree Valley climb to the viewing point, or the Featherbeds, south to north. I'm arriving onto the route from the top of the Liam Horner, named for the Irish Olympic cyclist who competed in the 1968 and 1972 Games. The climb up to the beds is a bit of a drag at around 7 to 9%. Forget the stats for this one. We're not going to worry about our climbing. Rather, we'll focus on the sheer joy of cycling on this beautiful road. I've done a bit of research on the origins of the Featherbeds name. I can find nothing. I can only assume that it's the name given because of the feathery appearance of the landscape when the bog cotton is in bloom, with the whole place looking like it's covered in feathers. A word of caution though, this can be a rough enough cycle. It gets very blowy up here and the wind can be more difficult to manage than any climb. The clouds sit on here too and it can be pretty hard to see where you're going. Cycling across here, as I've done many times in the wind, sleet and rain, can be tough going. It can also be glorious and it can be life-affirming. It's what bikes were made for. You know when you've crossed the Wicklow-Dublin border because the change in the road surface is really noticeable. Naturally enough, it's much better on the Dublin side. If the weather's good and you can ignore the dumped building materials, the views over Bornabrina Reservoir and across the Midlands are spectacular. When you've enjoyed them for a brief few minutes, you'll be enveloped by trees as you make the final descent to the viewing point at the top of the Killikee Road. Pull in if you like to get the views over Dublin, but for me, I'm heading home. There's a link to the Strava segment in the comments.